Now, let's welcome our hosts, Jay Cherish and Dame Deity. This is Millennial Intent, Conversations That Matter.
Today's discussion, we'll be talking about social media dysmorphia, the AI debate, and cyberbullying. The impact of social media and bullying has an effect on both adults and young people alike. It is increasingly concerning, with the numerous studies that have highlighted a terrible connection between social media usage and body dysmorphia. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok appear to perpetuate the rich standards of beauty, which has significantly influenced how individuals perceive their own physical appearance. It has often led to a highlighted acceptance of cosmetic procedures and plastic surgery as individuals seek an unconforming and unrealistic idea of beauty. So, what do you think about social media dysmorphia and how it's impacting everyday people's lives?
I think people are really, really weird. Well, that's what I think. But I've seen it I completely understand what you're saying. I've seen it, I've heard about it. I saw something where people were saying, because it's not just in the looks department. They were talking about I believe her name is a creator on TikTok named Nora Smith. And
Mm-hmm.
they were saying that she's creating like this image of unrealistic proportion about normal mothers and being housewives, that it's not applicable for moms to be able to make everything from scratch. But my question to you is, that sounds like a you problem. Just because she's able to do it for her family doesn't mean that you can do it for your family. And I don't understand why it's fair that you're making, her, or attempting to make her feel bad because she can or has the energy to do it just because you can't. Like, if that's her life, be happy for her. But why should you feel less adequate just because you can't make cereal from scratch? I'm mad that I can't bake bread, but that's a me issue. I don't get mad at, like Marita bread or what's that, Nature's Own, because I can't make bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, being mad at somebody else because you can't do something is the weirdest thing. And you should probably seek help. They have people for that. Just saying.
But they said that Nora looks so perfect, like she's the ideal perfection of a housewife. Like she's aesthetically pleasing. She's, the perfect mom, the perfect wife. She has the good features. And I think that with all the filters and, a lot of that scripted and photoshopped and put
But
in
she's a model. She was a model first,
but
though.
see, that's what people don't I understand the difference between real life beauty and social media and
But I
and
mean,
television.
but that's my thing is why, I mean, her life can be real life beauty, though. Just because she likes to get up and get herself dolled up does not mean that's not real life for somebody else. That's just not your life. Why are you hating on somebody else because they get up every day and put makeup on? If that's not your thing, then that's not your thing. You know what I mean? Like,
But
being mad
it's
at somebody else because they can is weird.
the thing about it, no, they're saying is so perfect and it's unrealistic that it's making everyday women feel self-conscious about themselves.
That's a
And
their problem.
but they're looking at these I back in the day, what to say, reality show people or actresses, whatever they are, and they're looking at them and examine their own life. They're like, okay, I'm not small like that. I don't have a husband like Lucky, and he doesn't look as perfect and poised as Nora. And so they're looking
Yeah,
at
those
this,
are
and
those are self issues.
it's causing harm and depression in people's mental form of how they're looking at
And
images.
those are the people that need to be to walk into their local Meridian behavioral, because that has nothing to do with her life, has nothing to do with you. Why would you look at somebody and try to idolize somebody that you don't know? You don't know those people, and you don't know her struggle to get to where she's at, to be able to have a good husband or somebody that appears to be good, or, to have those kids. You don't know what her personal struggle is. I will never, ever in my entire life look at small clippets on the internet and, you know, say, oh, that's the life I want. I don't know them people's lives. Now,
Exactly.
when we get on, the internet, I'll be like, okay, well, there's a person with a nice body or a natural body. I would like to look decent, but I'm not going to try to I think people need to take responsibility for how they allow their minds to go with their imagination. If you're clearly losing touch with reality, go see somebody. And I'm not being funny when I say go talk to somebody and get help. There's clearly something wrong. You have self-conscious, and I'm saying what Cat Williams said, esteem of yourself. Get that fixed. How somebody take your self-esteem.
And I think that a lot of it is like peer pressure. It's like when you think about bullying and everybody's a part of the clan, because a lot of people, we're not in, like back in the day, we're all in groups and you're getting actual peer pressure from people around you. No. So the new peer pressure is social media.
But we're like 40. Come on, y'all.
But I think that's the difference. I think that's how you're raised. Because I was looking at one time, I saw Cardi B was saying that I guess people were saying that their kids look up to them as role models and they emulate what they see. And she was like, you should be your own kid's role model. I ain't nobody role model, da da da. And I think that's along with adults too. We're looking on there like, oh, that's goals, that's body goals, that's image goals, that's career goals, instead of looking at, okay, I guess we learned this from a young age. Maybe let's take it back a little bit, because whenever I looked at someone, I never looked at their life and say, I wanted it, because I always thought that was coveting. That's coveting somebody's life. And that's not healthy. That's not a healthy
Girl, the
thing
only
to
person
do.
I ever coveted was Belle, because I wanted the beast for myself.
Or maybe her bookshelf. I always wanted that room. I wish I could
A
have.
bookshelf, that was his
I well
library, girl.
the library. I would love to have a
Why? Because you
library
was
like
gonna
that.
swing on it.
Yeah.
You gonna read the books.
No, I just like to look and smell them.
Goodbye.
I have a thing for books, even though I don't pick it up and read. I just have an
Girl, you're
addiction.
fired.
I have an
You're
addiction
fired.
for
Deleted. Deleted.
but listen, back to the social media topic though. They're looking at images, and like back in the day, people used to look at music videos and MTV and models and magazine and Cosmo to think, okay, that's what that's what I aspire to be. That's what I want to look like. Now we have social media, and has changed the concept of how we think, how we interact, and we have constant influences from text messaging, apps, tablets, instant messaging, all this directly involved in persuasive information that tells us what we should think, how we should look, how we should be. And a lot of us don't use our mind and to say, this is telling us, influencing us to how we're thinking. I mean, I don't know. I'm always thinking about that. Okay.
You can't get mad at social media because you're a sheeple.
But listen, have you ever saw a pizza on TV and be like, ooh, I want some pizza?
I look at pizza on TV and think, oh, I want pizza because I'm fat. It ain't got nothing to do with the pizza.
But that's what some women, they might not have the addiction. Maybe that's not their issue. Maybe it's looking at other women and comparing themselves and say, hey, that's what I want to be.
I'm too old for that. If I was supposed to look like that, I would have looked like that already. I mean, come on now.
But look at the BBLs. It's more
I think
common.
hold on. Let's go back to the pizza thing, because this is like a reference to something else. I can look at a pizza and go, ooh, that's a nice pizza, without thinking, let me go get in my car and go get a pizza. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't think there's anything wrong at looking at somebody on the internet and going, man, they have a nice shape. I think the issue comes in when you literally try to emulate yourself on things that you know are fictitious in nature. Like, that's weird. Like, people have to start holding themselves accountable for their own unrealistic, expectations. If you're shaped like a board, chances are you're not going to look like that.
Or if you're shaped like a drumstick, you can't be mad when you picked an hourglass shape. No, I'm not saying nothing about individuals. I'm just saying, like, you have to, I know sometimes I look at something and I know that person, like I'm realistic in my mind. I'm looking at somebody and I know, I'm like, that's not how I'm going to look at it. I'm trying to look for people with maybe similar body shapes, but most people are in denial for how they look and perceive themselves. And then they're so judgmental. That's why most women are nasty and they're always catty because they hate their inner self and they're looking at you to find little things to depict to make themselves feel better
Then
and to
I guess
bring
I'm
you
not a
down.
woman then. I'm
But
a
I
whole
think,
Klondike bar. I don't know
but,
what I ain't never looked at no girl and meant, oh, I want to look like you. I mean, maybe a track star because I like
but
your build, but not like,
but
oh,
as you're
she ugly.
talking, but as we're
Ugh.
talking, people are gonna like, okay, what do they look like? So they can find ways because they can, instead of disagreeing to agree as an adult, they want to find ways to tear you down instead of looking at inner
They can
self,
they
or
better
just say,
ask
I can agree to
themselves,
disagree.
can they fight?
Can they fight? They're like, well, you're ugly anyways. Why do you even have an opinion?
Child, we're all ugly to somebody by.
But that's the thing about social media. Instead of looking at it as an image, you're going to emulate that in your own life instead of saying, it's just crazy how it's causing people the depression range or the depression levels to go high, and a lot of people that are using a lot of social media.
Imagine being depressed about somebody that had to go get $50,000 worth of surgery to look how they look.
Oh no, they want to join the clan and they want to go and get
Not
so
the
50.
Klan.
Yeah, that's how I feel like it. It's and then it's like, and then I see, you know how like the lady that looks like a cat lady or whatever that got a lot of the plastic surgery done, and I'm just thinking, when they're in it, do they know they don't look a certain way?
Okay, but in all realistically, she wants to be a cat. She gone, baby. She gone anyway.
Well, what about these BBL drizzies and these ant bodies? Like some of these people, and I no disrespect, because if that's what brings your self esteem and esteem of
I
yourself,
promisely I think people should leave people who get body modification alone. It has nothing to do with you.
it's
Oh,
them.
I would never because you couldn't anyway. You can't afford it. Just shut up.
But
If they want to look like, I don't know if
I,
I mean, yes, it can go too far.
but
Obviously,
that's
anything
them.
can go too far. But I mean, it has nothing to do with you. They're the ones that have to look up and deal with their own face in the morning. That ain't got nothing to do with you.
But I saw, what's that? The young lady from oh my goodness, what's it? Love and Hip Hop. What is her name? I think her name's Sierra. So I
Um,
saw a little clip. I guess she was saying that she had some butt shots done, and it was
yeah, she
silicone.
had to get it taken out because I think she
Yeah,
got it
she
from a
said,
backdoor person.
yeah, she got it
No
from the
pun
back store.
intended.
But that's the thing. What she's saying is that they're these young, like say, they don't have the money, so the little bit they scrape up, they're going to a bootleg surgeon, getting these things that are gonna, mess up their body later on, and your body's gonna react to it
Imagine trying to
differently.
get a BBL when you have no life insurance. So when you die from getting that, makeover, your kids are going to be left destitute. But continue, ma'am.
But that's the distortion of people looking at
No, that's the
social media.
priorities.
And what kind of priorities do we have now? It's just crazy. It's what I guess is in the Bible. It says it's vanity. It's just we're obsessed with
Like,
it.
let's just be honest. All of us can't be video vixens. Some of y'all are going to be video chihuahuas.
But what Supply said, you're only getting fixed up for an ugly man, because real men don't care about all those BBLs and all this. But I'm
Like,
just saying, if that's
some of y'all
yourself,
are
if
just
that makes you
video
feel better.
chihuahuas, video Saint Bernards. It's okay.
But I mean, I guess I don't down anybody from getting social media, because if that, I mean,
Mm,
so oh my goodness, for getting a surgery, a plastic
yeah.
surgery, if that makes you feel better, like that's you. But
Hmm.
I that has nothing to do. I'm just saying that from a realistic stance, why are you looking on social media, comparing yourself to someone that you don't even know, and then judging
Hmm.
yourself off of that? That's so crazy,
Yeah.
and you're driving yourself crazy trying to compare. What it said, you're trying to meet with the Joneses and the
Keep up with the
Brown, keep up
Joneses.
with the
Yeah.
Joneses, instead of worrying
Yeah.
about yourself. And I think the priority has shifted in this generation because we're so infatuated with being perfect, or the perfection, because You're not,
how you perfect with a BBL?
but that's what they feel like if I don't
I don't
have the
think that's
perfect lips.
perfection. I think that's emulating something that you don't have.
Or maybe that's what they think their type of men they want. But I wouldn't want a man that's fascinated with that because once you lose it, you're gonna lose him once.
Well, if
Because
it's a
if
BBL, it's permanent, ain't it?
yeah, but you got to keep that stuff up. It doesn't automatically just stay up. You still got to work out. You got to
Ooh,
keep that body tight, unless you're gonna
I'm
keep getting surgery every few months or every few
I'm gonna
years
have to
to keep
thank
it
the
right.
Lord that my mama gave me a donk, so we're good on that.
Not everybody's blessed with genetics. Some of us
You
got to work
right.
for it.
You right.
We got
You
to
right.
work it to keep it right and tight.
Well, even when you blessed with genetics, you still gotta work and keep it right. And I understand. I mean, like, there's just so many nuances to that. There's people who have lost a lot of weight or lost too much weight, and they just want to, fix things and get them things back to where it was. They may have to get plastic surgery to like fix those last couple 100 pounds, or not 100 pounds, but like get those 50 pounds off, or they want to get rid of their mommy pooch. I mean, I feel like you should do whatever you want to do to be happy. But then I think that's when like your village steps in and be like, okay, but you're already beautiful. You really don't need any more. And then the rest is going to be to where, you know, they'll have to get professional help. Like all you can do is just like, okay, I'm not paying your medical bills. You do you, babe.
Yeah, but I've heard another instance for saying like some celebrities feel like they were bullied into getting plastic surgery, especially if they wanted to be in the entertainment, industry. They felt like, okay, if I want to win or if I want to make money, I have to get a BBL. And people online are bullying like, oh, you need a. I saw one comment. I think Tamar Braxton was dancing, and I'm always. What they say, keyboard warrior. I
Mm.
love being in the comments because I'm just looking. I don't say nothing, but I'm looking for somebody who was like, yeah, she need a BBL. What is she doing? All that surgery and she couldn't get a BBL. And then sometimes if you have low self-esteem and you're looking at this constant negativity, you're always looking at the negativity and like, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me.
You're talking about movie stars?
I'm talking about movie stars or people
My
that are
question
trying to
is,
be in the entertainment industry.
like, as a movie star, why would you even look at comments to people who you don't know who they are, but they know who you are? They would be like peasants to me,
Not peasants.
like straight up peasants. I would be like, why does
But
this why does this talk? I do not know
But
with
if
you.
people don't like you, then how are you gonna? Because you got to think about it. If people like
So what?
Michael B. Jordan, he makes more movies because people are coming to see your movies. You can relate. You're not gonna win over everybody because
Okay, then.
listen,
Listen, you can say whatever you want, but Forrest Whitaker been making movies forever, and he's not the prettiest
Forrest,
thing. Forrest Whitaker, and he been making movies forever, and he's not the prettiest person in the world. I'm just using him
but
as an
he's a
example.
man. He's a man, and I
Ah,
think
come
it's
on,
different for
man.
men than women. I think that, yeah, I think it's about his talent because either way, how he looks, he's still gonna
Okay,
get a
then. So
woman. He's
why
gonna get any
why
woman he
we're
wants. It
not even
doesn't
talking about
matter.
women, but my point is Forrest Whitaker getting bread. He's not the prettiest person in the world. He still makes money. We probably know who Forrest Whitaker is before Michael B. Jordan. Let's just be honest, because Michael B. Jordan is like newer to the scene. Forrest Whitaker got more credits to his name than Michael B. Jordan. The point is, this man's name. You have his idea of who he is in his head. So obviously, it's about you taking other people's opinion. Girl, you could tell me I look like Oscar the Grouch, and you still talking about me, but I don't know who you are. That peasants,
But
peasants.
I don't know where that distinguish as adults have we come to this conclusion. I don't know if some of these kids don't have parents that are when you grow up, your mom's telling you you're beautiful. I don't know what it is, but it has explored. There's studies out there that show that social media with the uses has an effect on the mental disorder, anxiety, and depression. And it causes body dysmorphia even more than just regular peer pressure. And it's
I
bullying.
have
Like
all
people are
three of those
making
things, but not one of them is from anybody
it's a
on the
body, it's
internet.
not about your body image.
Yeah, ain't nobody that I don't know gonna make me feel like nothing. But go off.
But this is a digital age. So constantly seeing people
Digital blah.
I don't know. Is it helpful? Is it harmful? It's only harmful for people that overdo it and can't distinguish the difference when it's good and it's bad. And more they're seeing these
I
cases.
think the one that gets on my nerve is when like people were talking about Lizzo. Now you bullied Lizzo. You told her she was overweight. You told her she had no neck. You told her that she was going to die, that she was giving people with obesity too much confidence, because y'all hate to see a fat girl that loves herself and that's not miserable and putting on her clothes on. Y'all hate to see a fat girl coming. Don't let a fat girl smile and eat something. Anywho, but then she lost weight, and then you said, "Oh, how dare you lose weight? You're using those shots. You're using if that is a huge radar to tell you that you have to do whatever you do for yourself, because people are always going to say something about you."
Exactly. Because they're unhappy with themselves.
Exactly. That's and that's what goes to the whole thing. I've been saying the whole thing. That's a you problem.
Yes, but when they're these keyboard warriors and you're getting online because you got to hide behind your cell phone or computer because you can't talk trash in real life.
What's the dude that is over Facebook?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay, this message is for him. Post their addresses with their comments.
I've always wanted to go to the comments and like
Mark.
Mark.
My name is Dame, and I implore you, for people who leave nasty comments, post their address.
But I guess what is freedom of speech. But it's the
it
fact
is freedom of speech, but it is absolutely freedom of speech. But freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. Post that address.
But have you ever thought of something, you're looking at a video and then you're like looking in the comments, I know I'm not the only one thinking about this.
I'm grown and I scroll on by. That's walk on by. That's what I do. If I don't like something and I don't agree, I scroll on by. That's about all the mental maturity I have.
I like the mental maturity.
Yeah, I don't have much, but I have that. Like sometimes I look at something and I want to say something. I'm like, you know what? I don't know nobody in this thread. Slide. Because why? Why are you getting yourself on a hissy fit about people on the internet? Like no one's. We're talking about multimillionaires who don't know what we exist.
Okay, and we're giving them what is it? Bad influence, good influence, bad.
Yeah, we're running up their comments. They're getting money. They don't care that we exist. These people don't know us. You're one comment in 14,000 underneath their post. They got paid for your stupidity. Lizzo is still going to eat that hamburger. You probably got less time to breathe than she does, because she has the money to afford her lifestyle and good food and a doctor and everything else. So you're running your mouth. No one cares. You just wasted 5 minutes of your life to your fingers just clicking, baby, for no reason.
I feel like if you're in the comments and you're not doing nothing in your life, that you're the problem in this world. It's the man in the mirror. Because
not Michael Jackson.
If you have time to always be negative about someone else's life, like you said, that's a you problem.
Absolutely.
But what do you think about this AI role and this unrealistic standard of beauty? Now, I know you've been seeing this even on Snapchat, TikTok, where you can go and use AI to create you an image on social media, even with pictures and things nowadays. You don't even know what's real from the fake. I mean, we can tell. But those who don't have an intense eye can really distinguish the real from the fake, the truth from the lie. And it's becoming, people are generating these AI filters, creating beauty apps, impression apps, and looking at themselves, and they're catfishing people, and people are saying they're coming to you and you look nothing like your picture, because now you have you went from black to Puerto Rican or black, and maybe that wasn't a good maybe not saying, but I mean,
you said you look like Cardi B, but in reality you look like Gollum.
Precious.
Wait a minute, what's wrong with Gabby? Don't do Gabby.
I'm not talking about her as an individual. I was just talking about the movie. I couldn't think of another one.
The shade.
I love everybody. They can say I'm her little sister right now.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
fade
talk
away.
about nobody. Okay, we can use Gollum. That would be a better example. But just
Not
saying,
precious. Oh,
no offense to her at all. All people in God's eyes are beautiful.
thank the Lord for the Lord.
Amen. He's the only judge.
And me, I'm also judging.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging. But like I'm saying, it's just unrealistic standards of beauty. And some people get caught up like you can't even take a picture or get online without a filter or without an AI presence.
Girl,
What do you
you
think
finna
about
get
it?
this ugly snap.
I'm like, I don't feel like that. I'm probably a little bit like that because I want my best foot forward. I don't want to be dragged across the internet looking a hot mess. If I, it's about, I don't care. This is the thing. I don't care what nobody else says about. It's how I feel about myself and what image I want to portray.
But I think what people need to realize that in reality, you want the people that look ugly in the pictures because those are generally the people who are prettier in person. Like
Mm.
versus the people that have all that plaster and that makeup on, because baby, when they take that off, that's not always what you're looking for. I'm not saying they're necessarily not beautiful. I'm just saying that's not what you're looking for. Now I can say this: I don't dress up often, but when I do, my face card does not decline.
Oh,
It's not.
okay.
I'm not. I'm just saying,
Okay, sis.
never decline.
Never
Never
decline.
decline.
Okay. All
Never decline.
right.
But I mean, but that doesn't mean like I'm not finna dress up. Shoot. If you see me looking like She-Hulk, that is what it is. On
But
a Tuesday.
the older I get, I'm just walking out with a bun on and some
You gonna get this bonnet how I serve it.
some crops, a hat, and let's go. I don't care. These sweatpants. I see
Yeah.
when
You
it's
gonna get this
comfortable.
bonnet how I serve it.
But I mean, like if that's your thing, you want to dress up. But I just think that the unrealistic standards that they're saying that AI is portraying to everyday people is causing issues
If
with
you
how
letting the first word being artificial
artificial intelligence.
intelligence make you feel a type of way. The only thing that makes me mad about artificial intelligence is that the way they make some of these men, they don't exist, and that just angers me. But I also feel the same way about anime. But I mean, why you made them look like that? They don't. That man don't exist. What you did it for? Now, our expectations are up here, and there's nobody who looks like that. That's the only thing that makes me sad. Other than that, I don't like AI because I think it's dangerous. I
Mhm.
also think it's like a security risk because the more I look at it and people start to perfect it, because the whole point of AI is that it's a learning machine or learning algorithm. So whenever we are playing with it and whenever we're teaching it more and more about like, human actions and speech and stuff like that, the more we feed it, the more it starts learning about people. And I can just imagine people making fake things or saying people say things that never said things, or people making like videos about people doing things that they've never done, never stepped foot in the room. And my
Mhm.
question is, what are y'all going to do to like, you know, source this kind of stuff? That's why
Yeah.
I don't like AI. I feel like it's a national
Exactly.
security risk. I
I
don't care
do.
about what I look
I
like.
do. And I remember I was watching, I know this might be a little off topic. Was it what was it? SWAT. And it was what's his name?
Oh, with
Shamar.
some more?
Yeah, so one day they had this thing that I guess he was supposedly, it went viral that he was beating up somebody, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
was like his face. And then they come to find out it was AI. But
Yeah, they
that's
call
when
them deep fakes.
yeah, but now that's what I'm thinking about, just news and things on the internet, and you're thinking, okay, this is that person, and it's not even that person that's influenced.
Mm-hmm.
Like even I saw one that they said like Kendall Jenner was, doing this commercial on beauty product, and it wasn't even her. It was an AI version of her, and it, because you can even interpret your voice, how you look, and then now people are making images of you that's not even you.
I feel like you should sue.
But I
Like,
think where are we going to
sue.
draw the line? Because
I think
that's
that
what
is the
these.
line. There should be nobody who's allowed to impersonate a human person that is in existence. Now, if you want to make an AI person, that's on you. But and I see why they're saying, oh, well, you need to make sure that it's said that it's AI. But obviously, everybody's not a good guy. So
Mhm.
everybody's not going to say what about people who blackmail people and be like, oh, well, this was you that did that. Well, it wasn't me. Well,
Exactly.
that's what I'm going to say. And
But
once it's out there, it's out there.
And it's like people don't believe it, but if it's a video, like say for instance, not quoting, I don't know if Diddy did this. I'm just saying. But what if that image of Diddy beating up Cassie wasn't real and they planted it? I mean, you had it for 16 years. I'm not saying this. I'm just using it as an example for
Mhm.
people to visually. We didn't believe anything about stuff that's happening until you visually see someone doing something.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, it's real. It's survival. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, but what if those images are fake? I'm
Right.
not saying him in general. I'm just making an example because we didn't believe the issues. Our people didn't believe the things that were going on in the media until they saw something. I already saw a video.
Right.
And now they're like, okay, well, what if these things turn out to be fake? And like you're looking at an image from AI of whoever you think did it, and they're putting it all over and it's replacing itself
Mhm.
as the real person.
Right.
What do
That's what I'm saying.
that's so scary to me.
Yeah.
And it just boggles my mind. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I
That's what I'm saying. I don't like that at all.
don't
At
know, but
No, no, go ahead.
no, I was just saying like how social media and it's causing so many rifts in people's lives that it's crazy. Like this
Mhm.
technology is getting so out of hand that is affecting the youth, the teenagers, how they're developing their identity, the parents and teaching them about the negative and positive and just the safety of it. Because some of these
Mhm.
people are looking at like they're looking at these images, and especially the young kids, they're not even thinking about, oh, this is fake. This is their reality.
But that's what
Social
happens when
media,
you give your 5-year-old a phone. Ain't don't nobody need to be on the internet.
not
Talking
I
about
think you
it's
need
for
a
safety.
detox.
They need the
You
school. For what?
I think that there needs to be a limitation with social media and your
Nobody
phones.
below 12 needs a phone. And I don't want to hear,
Period.
oh, it's for safety. No, it's
No.
not.
Period.
If
No.
your child is at school, you can call the school. Well, what if
Hmm.
somebody attacked the school? Then it's too late. What you
Yeah.
mean?
Unless you get them those little standard little flip phone 1997 call, a little 1997 call and text phone. You're gonna get a
Hmm.
flip phone where you can only call and text. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, the only people who really need the phones are like obviously the teacher. I saw some schools that had those little metal things that put the phones to kind of like to sleep, and you'll get it back at the end of class. Because even as an adult, I have to turn my phone off sometime, not because I'm looking at anything, but because I need to disconnect. Like
Exactly.
back in the day, reading for me was disconnecting, but now, like getting on social media, you find yourself scrolling and not doing anything. Okay, mind you, I just watch episodes of Law and Order, but that's not the point. The point is you're just scrolling and scrolling for hours, just getting all this, getting yourself worked up and in random
Hmm.
emotional heartaches and stuff like that for no reason. I just it's too much. I don't,
With
I don't, and I definitely don't think young kids need access to
no.
unlimited access to phones and
Exactly.
social media. Like that's dangerous.
And I've been shunned to say that as a parent. I remember a lot of times like other parents were had their kids online all day, and I said, I would put a timestamp. I would put a timestamp on my child's social media activity, meaning like if she was online, like playing Roblox or whatever,
Hmm.
there's a time limit to the phone, like a screen time limit. Like, okay,
Yeah,
30
I have that
minutes.
for my kids too.
30 minutes, I'm sometimes an hour in the summertime as she got older, if she's playing with her cousins or, it's a group thing, I'll give her some more time. But I saw that the other kids, I said, well, why do you have to always get on the phone? Because the other kids only knew how to play Roblox. Like, why couldn't you, you know, read a book on there or do whatever? And I seen them just on TikTok, just creating TikTok dances at 7 and 8. Like their parents don't limit their time. They're creating these images
TikTok
that
is
they
the
see.
worst place you need to
I
have your
know.
kids. That is
I'm
horrible.
just so shocked that there's unlimited access
Hmm.
without supervision on these
Absolutely.
platforms. And I think that
Absolutely.
there should be a detox because if your child can't get rid of their phone and they're so addicted to getting back to the phone and because they're seeing these images each and every day, what do you think? That's distorting their mind. That's distorting
Yeah,
how they think, how they see
agree.
themselves. and their kids are very manipulative, I guess you would say. Not manipulative. Oh my goodness. You know where
No,
I'm
but they
trying to
can
get.
be easily
Yeah,
manipulated. Yeah.
manipulated, and what they're seeing, and they're getting these images in their mind, and they think that this is real. And that's
Yeah.
why it's important as parents that we detox them from that
Well, it
for
seems
their
like the
mental
adults
health.
need to be detoxed too.
But yeah, they don't care because they're addicted. They're doom scrolling on their phone, so they don't even. They're so trapped in their phone. Because I've done it. I've been there. I'm not. I'm speaking for the choir. So I've seen it. I had to really like put myself. Like I really had to say, hey, what am I doing? Like, where's my kid? And what is she doing? And I've seen her on there. You don't know what if you're not involved. You could be in the same room with your kid and still don't know what's going on.
Yeah. No. I'm not a phone person. I'm a video game person, but I'm always
Mm-hmm.
watching my kids. I'm just like, I see you.
Me too. I'm like the private investigator.
You just see an eyeball pop up. You know, if they're online and they're playing the game, I just pop up and be like, "How y'all doing? What
Okay,
you
like what you
doing?" I'm
doing?
not doing nothing. You look guilty, and then disappear again.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I just think that as this culture, there's so many ideas, standards of beauty, and I hear the kids at my daughter's school just tearing her down, like, "Oh, you don't look like this person, or you have your forehead. If you have Kylie Jenner has two hands on her forehead, so she's the idealistic of beauty." And I'm just thinking, Kylie paid for her face. No offense to Kylie, but you cannot compare yourself to someone you see.
Even if she didn't pay for her that's her face that she
That's
wanted to
her
have, and
exactly.
that's her right. And I don't look like her, and she doesn't look like me. And mind your business.
But instead, they're putting their insecurities off on each other and trying to tear each other down. And
Hmm.
that's what's sad. It's like you're a kid. Go play in the dirt. I don't know. Go do
Yeah.
something. Why are you kids worried about who likes what, who looks like who looks the best? I mean, you need to be worried about your education because you can barely read and write, but yet you're worried about beauty standards and TikTok dances and lay and get my hair laid. Like it's crazy.
Imagine having your hair laid, but you can't even spell it. But go off.
But the girl says, spell yours. You
Girl,
can't even
go.
spell it. So
Yeah.
what is the solution for this battle of cyberbullying and AI and this idealistic, unrealistic standard of beauty?
Ain't no solution for idiots. What you want us to do? Hey, there is nothing to be done about it. People gonna do it. There's always been this image of people wanting to look up. They talk about looking up to Marilyn Monroe and all these different people. When you idolize people, that's what happens. And then these people die of heart attacks and overdose and all kind of stuff. There's no solution to pure stupidity. Why would you idolize somebody you don't know?
Exactly.
That's insane. If there's any solution to be had, it's just that you need to mind your own and worry about yourself and make yourself happy because those people are going through something too, regardless of how much money they have. They're struggling with their own addictions and their own body issues. You can't look to somebody who, as long as listen, if the person's not walking on water, they having issues. And that's period.
I agree. And the thing about it, what they say with that TLC, you can fix your hair if it don't grow. You can fix your body if you say so. But it is also, it's your inner self. Because no matter how you try to fix it, or no matter what you look at online, if you don't fix the inner person inside you, because you're looking at this, but that's not the real problem. I'm always looking at what's triggered this. Like, what's the problem? The problem is you. The problem is you. Like you're looking at the world for any other standard you're trying to make everybody else feel bad because you don't feel a certain way. It doesn't matter. You got to work with what you got. If God gave you long hair and the stick figure, you work with what you got, you know? And I think that we forgot about work with what you got. Work if there's somebody out there that's going to like what you got. You just got to love yourself, and that's that whole love, that self-love, that self-taught instead of looking at the world to depicting what you want it to be. You figure out what makes you happy. What they say, get in the gym. If you don't like it, change what you don't see. Change what you don't like. If not, you're accepting it. Yeah. Change yourself. Stop
I
looking
accept
at
hamburgers. I accept
but
hamburgers.
you can't be mad at the world for what you become. You have a choice in this life. And
Yeah.
even if you change the outside and you still feel messed up, that's some inner thing. That's something you need to go get some help. Go get some professional help.
Call somebody.
Call somebody.
That's
There's
it.
lots of therapists online. Get one. I'm pretty sure if you work, there's a program at your job. There's EAP programs that can get you started. There's so
Not
many.
using the official name.
I'm just
Wait a
saying,
minute.
go talk to somebody. Go get some mental health before you decide to go get on that surgery table and try to change it or whatever you want to change. Talk to somebody. Seek help. Go to Bible study. Get some help. Okay? I just believe in empowering individuals and learning about self-worth and stop worrying about social media and comparing yourself. Maybe go pick up a book. Maybe go pick up a trade, but stop looking to social media to fix your problems of fake, unrealistic standards of beauty. Do you have any closing words for us, Dame?
All I'm gonna say is, y'all, it's self-esteem. Like Cat Williams says, esteem of yourself. Stop worrying about what the next person's going through and fix your own issues. You're okay, you're perfect the way you are. And even if you're not perfect, you'll get there with time.
Exactly. Well, that concludes today's episode of Millennial Intent Conversations That Matter. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
To hear more from Millennial Intent, hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to tell a friend.